What a typical American breakfast looked like in the 1920s. A kitchen 100 years ago was surprisingly similar. Sure, they may not have had the same tools as us, but they still ate bacon and drank coffee. Let's find out. Eggs on the stove. Eggs were the center of a 1920s breakfast. Anyone in a hurry would make fried eggs with toast, and bigger households might keep a pot of water simmering for poaching. Eggs were as much of a staple breakfast dish to Americans in the 1920s as they are to us today. Pork on the side. Breakfast meats were a given. However, back then, the meat was slightly different from ours today, as the bacon wasn't paper thin like the prepackaged ones now. It was usually cut thicker and cooked in cast iron. Toast, muffins, and griddle breads. Electric toasters were still a novelty, and restaurants got them first and then homes slowly followed. Families without one put bread under the broiler or onto a hot pan. Muffins and biscuits also began appearing. Coffee on the boil. Like today, there wasn't really breakfast without coffee. People brewed it in percolators on the stovetop or electrically. The coffee itself was usually strong, without any fancy lattes or flavored creamers. Hot cereals. Cooked cereals were rather popular during the colder months, and having a pot of oatmeal on the stove was rather common. Whatever the choice, you had to wait and stir while keeping an eye on the pot because there were no microwave packets. Boxed cereals joined the routine. Packaged cereals were the new thing at the time, and companies began to push them as a fast, modern option. In the mid-1920s, Wheaties launched while cornflakes had been around for a while. Pancakes and waffles show up. Pancakes were another breakfast rather than a special treat, using flour, eggs, milk, and a bit of sugar. However, waffles weren't as common. Fruit and juice at breakfast. Fruit was simple, just apples, bananas, or oranges when they were in season. Around this time, orange juice became more of a breakfast drink, although it wasn't the mass-produced stuff we know today. Milk on the table. Milk was everywhere, so kids drank it straight, and adults poured it over cereal. In fact, most families bought it daily or had regular deliveries because refrigeration wasn't widespread yet. Kitchen equipment you'd recognize. Even though it was almost 100 years ago, a lot of kitchen tools would look familiar today, like cast iron skillets and metal percolators. Yes, electric toasters and coffee makers began to appear, but plenty of homes still stuck with manual methods.